Alright, we're going to get started with another cooking video. Tonight's meal that I'm going to prepare is lemon chive chicken with garlic mashed potatoes and roasted Brussels sprouts. So, stay tuned, get ready, here we go. Alright, so I mentioned to you that I like to have a little bit of wine while I'm cooking. And tonight's wine is actually a muscadine wine. I got turned on to this about a month ago. It's made with muscadine grapes, which have great health benefits. It's a lot of antioxidants in this wine. This one is called Cool, and it's from a winery on the coast of North Carolina. It's called Dublin, and so we're going to go ahead and try a little bit of it. It is a fantastic wine. They have a rosé. They've got all kinds of different flavors that you could try out. But cheers! Let's get cooking. All right, for this meal, we need to have some Yukon Gold potatoes, garlic chives. We're going to do Brussels sprouts, like I mentioned, lemon, sour cream flour, some type of Tuscan heat spice or something similar, whatever suits your needs. Some chicken cutlets and some chicken stock concentrate is what we're going to be using for the recipe here today. So the first thing I'd like to do is go ahead and wash all the produce and then go ahead and cut up these potatoes. All right, so one of the first things that we're going to do, as you can see, starting with the potatoes, we want to get these going and underway. So we're going to cut these up into half-inch pieces, and then we're going to start boiling some water, and then we're going to put those in the boiling water to help those soften so we can mash them up. Once I cut these up, we're going to go ahead and mince the garlic. Probably 2 cloves of garlic is good. In this family, we like garlic, and it actually has health benefits, so we're actually going to be using 3 cloves of garlic. All right, if you work with garlic a lot, a neat little gadget to have is this little garlic skin peeler tube. That's what I call it. If you work with garlic a lot and you want to take your garlic, you just put it inside here like this. You just roll the tube, and out comes the garlic with no skin. No fuss, no muss. So this recipe calls for some chives, and we're going to go ahead and come out into my garden here. They haven't been killed off by the frost yet, but we're going to go ahead and clip some chives that we're going to use in tonight's meal. Okay, now that I got the chives, we're going to go ahead and thinly slice these. And once I'm done this, I'm going to go ahead and cut up the Brussels sprout. So as I was cutting up the chives, I noticed that the water is boiling and it's ready for the potatoes. So we're going to go ahead and put the potatoes in some salted water, and we'll let those cook for probably 20 minutes or so. And then I'll come back and I will test them to see if they are soft enough and ready to be smashed. Right, so now I'm going to go ahead and prepare the Brussels sprouts. We're going to cut off the ends here, and then I'm going to cut these in half just so that we better bite-sized pieces for when we go ahead to eat them. And they also don't take as long to cook when they're cut in half. You know, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I hated Brussels sprouts, but I found a recipe that I really like and really makes these fantastic. All right, so we want to go ahead and mince our garlic. Get that prepared. Go in for the mashed potatoes. There we go, that's all done. And then I also want to then zest some lime. Well, actually, it was supposed to be lemon, but I guess one note to remember is if you're going to make a meal, make sure you have all the proper ingredients. The recipe does call for lemon, but we're going to make do with lime today, and shouldn't make too much of a difference in the flavor and how it's going to be used. All right, now that we have the lime zested and the garlic minced, we're going to go ahead and then cut up the lime into quarters, and we're then going to squeeze approximately 1 tablespoon of juice into a small bowl and save that for later. All right, while the potatoes are cooking, I went and put the Brussels sprouts on a pan. We're going to take that, we're going to drizzle some olive oil over top. Just a little bit there. Then we're going to go ahead and season them with a little bit of salt and some fresh black pepper. And then we'll put these in the oven at 425 for about 12 minutes. And then once we've done that, we will then take them out, and then we're going to coat them in soy sauce and then put them in for another 2 to 3 minutes. All right, so the potatoes are just about ready. One little tip I can tell you to make sure you have some of the creamiest potatoes ever is save a little bit of the liquid from the potatoes, and then you could add that when you're mashing them in case they need to be a little bit more creamy. And there you go. We'll set that aside. All right, so it appears that our potatoes are now complete. We're going to go ahead and strain them. And empty the water into the sink. And we're going to put the potatoes back in the pot. We're going to be adding some, we're going to add the garlic. We're going to go ahead and get that in. And the garlic. I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of butter. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to put in 4 tablespoons of sour cream. You could probably replace this with Greek yogurt if you prefer that. And we are going to mash these. All right, so I'm just about finished mashing these potatoes. They're looking pretty good. And then once you're done mashing them, what we're going to do, we're going to add half of the chives that we cut up. We'll add half of those. And then we'll just season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. All right, so the Brussels sprouts are ready for the first stage. And I'm going to go ahead and put on approximately 2 tablespoons of soy sauce on those. And then we want to cook those again for about 2 more minutes, and they'll be ready to eat. They will be delicious. All right, now that we got the chicken in flour, we're going to put it on a pan for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. And as you can see here, I've got this other piece of chicken that we're going to go ahead and flour on up. This flour mixture has salt and pepper. It has the Tuscan seasoning in here to give it a little bit of spice. And then once this is done, we're going to grill this on both sides, probably about 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes on each side. Okay, now that the chicken is complete, remove that from the pan and put that on a plate. And in the pan, the same pan, what we do is we're going to add in the remaining flour that was left over, the flour concoction, 1 tablespoon of butter, salt and pepper, and the chicken stock. And we mix that until it is thickened, which it just about is. Also a 1/4 cup of water. And we will divvy up the potatoes, the Brussels sprouts, and the chicken. Top with this sauce and dig in. And here you go. Bon appetit.